Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com. Today we're taking a look at and installing the Flowmaster Outlaw Direct-Fit Series Muffler, available for all 09 to 18 5.7 liter Rams with the factory dual exhaust. Now this one is going to get 4 out of 5 on our loudness meter, as you just heard from our sound clips. If you're the owner of a 5.7 Ram from the 09 to 18 gen, you might be looking to ditch the factory exhaust note to get a deeper, more aggressive sound without going overboard while also sticking to a budget. This particular system comes in right around the $350 mark, gets you the smaller muffler here with a lot more volume and a lot more tone, as well as the clamps to get it installed. Overall, it's going to be a really beefy sound on the exterior with little to no drone on the interior. Decent enough to let you have a conversation with your passenger and still listen to music at full volume without having a lot of drone in your ears. Now, as far as the installation is concerned, expect 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter here. Definitely can get done with simple hand tools in the driveway at home. I'd say about an hour or so from start to finish. As far as materials and construction, expect 3-inch tubing on the inlet and outlet side with a black powder coated finish over top of a heavy duty steel. Now, of course, 304 stainless is the highest quality on the market, but that's something you definitely pay a little bit more money for. Now, if you're looking to keep the cost down but still get the nice volume and a little bit of durability, this system is going to get the job done for you. Now, the 3-inch inlet and outlet tubing is coming from a heavy-duty steel with a black powder-coated finish. That powder coating is giving you a little more of a corrosion and rust resistance, which is very important for the guys out there, just like us on the East Coast, seeing a little bit of road salt during the wintry weather months. It'll hold up a lot longer than the factory exhaust, which we'll compare it to a little bit later in the video. Next up, I want to show you guys how we get this installed, so let's get to it. There are 3 clamps holding on our factory muffler, so to kick off the uninstall, we'll need our 15mm socket and our ratchet or power tools. And we're going to remove 2 of the clamps on the tailpipe side and then 1 more clamp toward our engine side. Those are going to be very simple to remove. As you can see, we have a newer clamp here. We've done a swap on the muffler before, so you've got a newer clamp. If you're working with your factory clamps, some WD-40 or some PB Blaster will help with the rust on the bolts. I do want to point out the factory clamps here are tack welded to the muffler itself, so once you loosen it up, the clamps themselves are not going to come off. If they're loose, the muffler will pop off as a full assembly with the clamps still on them. I just wanted to point that out. So grab your 15mm socket and get to work. Next step, we're going to use our hanger removal tool to pop our hangers out of the isolators. If you don't have a hanger removal tool, you can use a pry bar or some elbow grease. All right, so that should help a little bit. With our hangers out of place and our clamps loosened up, we can now pull the muffler out of place from the tailpipes and the midpipe. As you can see, we got our stock Ram muffler on the floor here next to our Flowmaster Outlaw, and the first thing you'll notice is the massive size difference. The Outlaw is a fraction of the size of the factory muffler, but in this particular case, size does not really matter here. The size of this muffler is still going to produce a much louder sound than the factory option here. That's because our factory muffler has a lot of baffling inside that tone down that aggressive sound and really make it very tamed and really not that aggressive at all. The Outlaw system here is almost a straight pipe. Inside this muffler, it's extremely hollowed out. There's a much less restricted airflow here, meaning the inlet air is coming through and pushing straight out of our outlets, our dual outlets, to give you that dual exit exhaust without any restriction and a loud, aggressive tone, which also helps to bump up some power as well. Not much here restricting that airflow, which means you see a horsepower and torque bump, as well as a small throttle response gain. Now, this particular option here has a 3-inch heavy-duty steel with a black powder-coated finish. That black finish is going to protect it against some of the weather elements out there, so if you're located in a wintry weather area, seeing a lot of road salt, the black is going to help with the longevity of the product here. Now, as you can see, our hangers are in the same location on our Outlaw exhaust. All you have to do is transfer over your hanger isolators to the new Outlaw system, and you'll be good to go to bolt this right up into the factory locations. Before we get our Outlaw system installed, all we have to do is slide our new clamps provided in the kit over top of the outlets and then of course the inlets. Now, there are 3 clamps in the kit provided for you. 2 of them are going to be a little bit smaller, one's going to be a little larger. The larger one goes on the inlet side, the smaller ones are going to go on your dual outlet side, so you want to make sure you're putting them on the correct sides. All right, so now that we have our muffler up here ready to be installed, we can put our inlet side in first into the extension pipe, and then our outlets will follow into their hangers and then sliding into the tailpipes. So now that we've got our tailpipes slid into the outlets and our extension pipe into the inlet, we can tighten down our clamps around the appropriate sides. And of course, making sure that you tighten them down as strong as possible so there's no exhaust leaks. So when you start your uninstall of the factory exhaust, it's a little easier to use just a simple ratchet and socket, simply because the bolts are usually facing the top of the exhaust system, making it hard to fit power tools in. Now that we're using brand new clamps and our bolts here are facing the bottom, I'm switching over to power tools to make life a little easier. That's going to wrap up my review and install walkthrough of the Flowmaster Outlaw Direct-Fit Series mufflers. Now, if you're the owner of an 09 to 18 5.7 Ram with the factory dual exhaust, check out the Outlaw Series muffler right here at AmericanTrucks.com.